Sadhanas from Ribhu Gita by His Holiness Sri Swami Shantananda Puri Maharaj. Chapter 3. The world is all void. The entire world, all the basic elements of which it is made, and the mind, intellect, ego, etc. are all only an appearance and have no real existence, like the horns of a hare. Similarly, destruction, birth, truth, the world, virtue, sin, success, delusion, lust and anger, greed, attachment, fortitude, and the instructions of a master to disciple are all false and have no real existence of their own. There is no I or you or the world. There is no beginning, end or middle. The past, present and future have no real existence like the horns of a hare. All the three bodies, the gross, subtle and causal, and whatever is seen are all unreal. The enjoyer, the objects of enjoyment, the control of mind, self-inquiry, contentment, the do's and don'ts of disciplines, all movements, the ears, the eyes, the body, inertia, the gods like Vishnu and Shiva, the longing for liberation are all unreal like the horns of a hare. All the sense of cognition like eyes, etc., their qualities, all the senses of action like the hands and feet, all the states like the waking state, the dream state, etc., all the 24 basic principles, the 4 qualifications prerequisite for entering into the spiritual field, all the worlds, all the beings, all the dharmas, that is, virtuous acts, all ignorance, all learning, all stations of life, that is, bachelor, householder, etc., all castes, like Brahmins, etc., all holy places and rivers, all the Vedas, that is, scriptures, and all the sciences are all unreal like the horns of a hare. All bondage, all types of liberation, that is of the Vaishnavas, etc., all knowledge, all periods of time, all instructions, all the existence, all actions, all the company of holy men, all duality, all cognition of non-existence are all false and unreal like the horns of a hare. Whatever we see and perceive in this world, whatever we hear from the Guru, that is the Master, are all unreal. Whatever we meditate on, whatever we think of, and whatever we decide through the intellect are all unreal. Whatever is tried to be conveyed through speech, whatever I uttered through the mouth, whatever is grasped through the various senses, whatever object is abandoned, whether one's own or somebody else's, whatever looks real and solid, whatever has been determined as one's self, that is Atman, Shiva, the destroyer, Vishnu, the sustainer, and Brahma, the creator, are all unreal like the horns of a hare. Whatever is called the Jiva, that is the individual soul, or the Sansara, that is the mundane world, whatever is told in Puranas, in the Vedas and the Upanishads, that is the philosophy part of the Vedas, are all unreal and illusory like the horns of a hare. Whoever reads this portion and hears the secret instruction will become the Brahman himself. All knowledge pertaining to the three bodies, including the causal, is all false, and it was never real at any time. The conclusion that I am the body constitutes the world. It is the ignorance, it is the impure vasana, that is, past impressions. It is the jiva, that is, individual soul, which constitute the mind. In other words, it is the ignorance that has assumed all these forms like mind, jiva, etc. The idea that I am the body is the limiting adjunct, causing all unhappiness and miseries, constitutes death, is inauspicious, the greatest sin, and constitutes all defeats. It is the greatest disease, it is the great delusion, it is that which leads to the world being wrongly considered as real. It is the mind which has become the samsara, that is, the world of relationships. Whatever little gives unhappiness by just thinking of it, whatever little of the world we think of, whatever little desire or impurity we think of, whatever little sin we think of, is all considered as a great disease. Whatever little thought there is, it is called the great delusion. It is also categorized as one of the three miseries, that is, personal, interpersonal, and due to an act of God. Whatever little is thought of being done is all lust and anger. Whatever little is being done is all unhappiness, is all relationship, a great delusion where the world is considered as real. Whatever little is thought of is a great defeat. Represent three periods of time, that is past, present and future. The various forms, the great world. Whatever little we think of is untruth and represents a non-existing world. It is the mind which forms the entire world, and the mind is the greatest enemy of us. It is the mind which becomes the mundane world, the three worlds, the great unhappiness, and also the old age. Mind is the time, impurity, thought, and the individual soul. The mind always remains impure, a sort of magical illusion, unreal like the sons of a barren woman. There has been nothing called a mind. It is always insentient. The ego, the greatest bondage, the innermost sense, that is, antakarana, is all the five basic subtle elements like earth, air, etc. The mind itself becomes all the tanmatras like touch, etc. All the five sheaths like annamaya kosha are all mental only, and it is the mind which forms all the three states like waking state and etc. The various gods are projections of the mind. Whatever is there, including the do's and don'ts known as yama, niyama, etc., are all the mind only. The entire universe is a thought. The body also is a thought. The being is made of thoughts, and duality is also a thought. The caste, the qualities, or the moods, the entire world is all made up of thoughts. Whatever exists is all mental. The individual soul is the mind only. All the ignorance, all differentiation, all experimental knowledge, all the duality, all time and space are all thoughts only. This body is a thought. So also is the vital breath, that is prana. The contemplation and listening, the heaven and hell, the consciousness, the self-remembrance, the contemplation of the ultimate truth, the Brahman, are all only thoughts. There is nothing called a thought. None of the three worlds exist, and there is no master, that is guru or disciple. There is no body or mind, nor the entire world. There is no being. Everything is non-existent. The one who listens to this portion verily becomes the Brahman, that is, the Supreme Being. The peace of mind and the renunciation attained by the Vedantic knowledge, or the faith and love for the holy feet of Lord Shiva, shaking off the bondage of repeated births and deaths, comprising also of wife, husband and sons, can never be achieved by any amount of logical arguments or scholarship. For those seers in whom the vision of world has completely vanished and who remain without any thoughts at all times, there are no states like the waking state, sleep, etc., nor is there life and death. End of chapter 3.